What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're back on one of our viewer accounts. This one here is from Star Wars Shooter. I've been told a lot of mistakes have been made, but it gives us a really cool opportunity to highlight kind of like a mid-game account. You got a bunch of Transcendence heroes, but you're all in on your Starwing Jahra, and I think a lot of people are doing this if they don't have like a Mockman or a Vulcan, Lord of Fear Aspen, all those heroes, because, well, she can absolutely crush it. You'll notice the first thing here is that there are two of these maxed out, two skills. You're gonna want to go for a very high sublimation and max out Starstream, the active skill, well, because yeah, you have the highest chance to CC heroes, you have additional chances to CC heroes, you have a bigger range to petrify and freeze the targets and get multiple CCs on the target, and of course you definitely want Void Infusion because, well, number one, it's just the way you get tons of energy and you get layers of focus, and those layers of focus do more things. At the beginning of battle, you get additional layers of focus as well. So all of these things are amazing, higher chance to get them, and she's the go-to because, well, I mean, she's the early game GOAT. She can CC everybody, and when the entire enemy team is CC'd, well, you just win, especially when your team is still going first, like you are in a lot of game modes. Up to a certain point. There is, of course, a certain point where the enemy team is going to be going faster than you. But yeah, really awesome setup here. Now, what I've been told is what we have been using on this account is essentially like a very crit attack damage oriented hero. So we're going for like maximum crit. We're not even going for speed here. Damage reduction, crit, and crit damage are the way. And then, of course, you have the damage, attack, and HP skin. It just looks awesome. She's awesome. Everything about her is awesome. And she absolutely crushes it. Now, the one thing that is difficult with her is if you are going for the strategy of a Punisher of Immortal, speed is kind of important because you want others to go before you. But if you're running like energy artifacts, yeah, you'll notice speed is a very big issue. It's near impossible to get them to go before you. The other thing to note is this is an account that has a B tier hero. Control precision or control immunity offset are usually great to go for on the stats here. And then on top of that, the house. So this is the main householder right here. You'll notice everything is in about the 80s except for the aura. Over here, looks like we get a 40s for the Vesa and then kind of nothing else in any of the other houses. So this is all in on the Jahra. You're going all in on the tenants. Getting the Jahra tenant is very important because it's a much better hero. You'll notice if you go down to Jahra here, Ithqua's an assassin. You do not want assassins as your tenants, but we do have a couple things going on here. So let's take a look. I did notice you did not have an artifact, so we're just going to give her a flag for now since we're not going to be using her in combat. We're just using her to buff our hero up. Now, I'm going to show you guys something here. We just got past a ton of difficult modes. This one, this is another one where a lot of like free-to-play or low spenders get stuck. We're VIP 4 on this account. Man, it still triggered me that these are completely off-center every time. We're going to try a battle just to show you guys what it's like. And when you are at 5 Transcendence heroes, you want to V4 one of them, regress them, and then rebuild them with a different 10 start so that you can actually slot the puppet in here and get yourself an aura. Now, we are, like I said, using things like the sword flash here, and that's mainly because, well, we kind of need to. We want the hero in there, even though she just has a flag on. She's not doing much for the combat. We're here for our hero. And now you'll see here, even now, the enemy team is going first. And this is where battles get very difficult. If you can't outspeed the enemy, well, you're kind of screwed because you really want to get like a round 1 active off in Jahra. But in this situation, this is not a good example of how you want to use this hero because, yeah, she dies in the first round. This is a very difficult way to get to her, but they've gotten to 2. I mean, where they're almost to those level 6 stones. Very close. But this hero is very strong. Don't know if they pushed much here. I'm intrigued to see what's going on. I'm going to buy 1 attempt. I feel like this is going to be really difficult. If you guys didn't know, this game mode is ridiculously difficult to actually make any type of progression in. Like, absolutely ridiculously. We're going to try using the Punisher Staff here as well. I don't know if it's going to work well. I almost feel like, oh, well, we are faster, which is really good. Because that means in round 2, we'll at least be able to get a good hit off if we're not twined. Not we're twined. Luckily, we had those Annabelles. Oh my god, the CC is so annoying on this hero. We do have Control Purify. Yes, we do. So we'll buy a couple attacks just to kind of highlight this real quick. show you guys how this hero can do some crazy damage. But again, if you are going to go this route, it is a very difficult route because you're going to have her as your fastest hero, and feeding energy for round 1, like you see here, it's pretty much impossible. Like, it's just not really going to happen. Let's see if we put her in the front row, if we can get anything better going here. I mean, this is not, the twine is brutal here, man. The twine is brutal. This is why Shadow Sealand is like one of the worst things possible. I don't know if many of you guys have seen these enemies, but they are ridiculous to actually go up against. Like, you can even see the basic attack does a lot, but they send some damage back your way. These seeds are ridiculous that they're hitting her every single time. Somehow the Jahra, or the LOE stayed alive. This is just not working out good. And you'll see we've pushed very far on this account. The problem is you get stuck and then you can't really make much more progression in anything. It does do pretty well in Void Vortex as well. I want to show you guys that. I think, yeah, getting all the way to Dominator with this type of account, which is pretty solid. Getting all the way to Dominator, a Vanquisher clear with just this, like, very, very solid clear overall. And it can do a lot of damage is the big thing. Making her your main damage dealer will get you a lot of progression. I don't think there's a way for us to look at Tower of Oblivion progress. Sadly, there isn't, to see what depth they're on. But you can see, even getting like Sealand 26 done is very, very difficult for a Shadow account, because Azrael doesn't really help. It's all on Jahra at that point. I'm intrigued to know where we got to here. I need to check the name on the account real quick. So it's Star Wars. I wonder if this is actually gotten to 100. Doesn't look like it. No. How far has it made it with the Jahra? Now, Jahra, remember, she's not an amazing Aspen Dungeon hero, so I'm not expecting much, if anything. Like, I don't even know if we're going to be ranked on here. We aren't. So still haven't gotten to 50 potentially, at least not to 67. So again, be prepared. There are some major downsides to this. There are some upsides to it as well. Realms Gate, we're on what? We're farming 120 Void Corruption. So that's not too bad, honestly. That is pretty solid. Let's open these guys. Oh, let's get the portal. Let's do a couple battles in here, because this is where we can kind of show off the power. These battles right here, we can kind of use any heroes we want at this point, but sadly I think we're just gonna chuck in a lot of our Transcendence heroes, and then probably like a Rogan or two would be solid here as well. Throw that in. Let's watch this battle and see what we're doing. So 120 is very difficult. You really want to try to farm 121 and higher if possible. Well, let's check out the damage coming in round 2 here. She has a supercharged active in round 2, so that even though she's not running a Rui Scepter, she should have a very high chance to CC the enemies. Let's see what the damage actually looks like here. Boom. Oh, that was a huge hit on the Faith Blade. I love to see it. I think we're going to get another active off next round, right? Because we should be able to feed some energy. Or actually, have we all gone already? We might have already gone. Oh, that feels bad. And again, this is the downside of having her be such a fast hero. And it's like, while she can do some devastating AoE damage, her single target's not horrible either. It does do a pretty good couple of pings there. Let's see if we can get one good active right here. Oh, that's so much damage, especially with the Punisher. I could see the same results kind of happening with the Melodic Strings as well. And the Melodic Strings is probably the better option, because you do get that round 1 active off, and then everybody following behind with like Demon Bells and such can feed that energy back into you. So that's kind of like a cool combo. So Demon Bell on all your supports, absolutely amazing. That's something you definitely want. But if you need to do something else like a Melodic Strings, you know, I almost would prefer something like that. So very offensive artifacts. I wouldn't go for like an Antlers Cane, Punisher, Melodic. Those are the two to go for. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We'll try to highlight some stuff in the future when we can make some progress on this account too. But very, very solid hero. Very good first damage dealer. And I'll see you guys next time.